everybody, long time no see. I'm pink, Vic is pretty much blonde again, so hair colors change. You know, times are a-changing in these lives here. So we will hopefully be back to our regularly scheduled posting, not in two weeks, but next week.
Yeah, well, we normally film as much as possible on Mondays because Charlotte will go to daycare for about 5 hours that day, so we have time to film and clean and do what we need to do while I'm not working. But last week I had like a mental health crisis. I don't know what happened. And then this week it's Memorial Day, so I don't have childcare. So we'll try and film intermittently if we can, but you know,
There's not gonna be much we can do to work around this.
This isn't like our full-time job or nothing. So.
Anyway, we just got the Perception palette in the mail today. This is a collab with Midas and the Thebasicb. We've been following the Thebasicb for, I don't know, 3 years now.
I think since the ABHPR search. I think that's when we became friends with her.
Yep, she is so stunning, so incredible. Her makeup is so fun. She just changed her style a little bit.
It's more graphic.
It's more graphic. Yeah, it's super fun. She has like the thin brows. She's so incredible. And now she's got split hair. Oh, bad
I'll
bitch.
link all of her socials below.
Bad bitch, love it. This is what the inside of the palette looks like. This is so pretty. So pretty, and I don't even think the camera's gonna do it justice because I think it's much brighter in person.
Yeah, it's insanely beautiful.
So beautiful. So we have 2 looks for you. We maybe used a lot of the same shades.
I should have really studied what you did first.
I thought that I thought, okay, I'm wearing purple, I'll do some of the pinks a little bit, and then it'll be different because so I'm not doing blues like I always do. So I'm sorry if there's any overlap, but let us know if there's any specific shades you want us to use, any looks. I'll probably play around with this a little bit more sometime this
palette
week.
would probably work really well in conjunction with her glitters that she used to have with Midas as well, which I believe are discontinued, but we still have them.
They were so fire. That was I bought them immediately. I'm like, oh my god, so pretty, and they are my favorite glitters to date, even though I don't wear glitter almost ever. Anyway, if you're interested in seeing our 2 looks and our thoughts, then just keep on watching. Couldn't help myself. There's so many pretty colors. I had no idea what to do, so I did everything. My eyelids are already primed with the MAC Painterly Paint Pot, so we're already good to go on that front. So I think this brush is from Morphe. All I can see is a very faded 725, but I'm not entirely sure what this brush is from. It's just a tiny blending brush. I'm gonna take the shade Implode, which is the deepest, like purpley matte here. And I'm going to pack that on my outer corner and start to blend it. Did I? Yeah, it's creasing. I was like, did I actually prime this eyelid? I don't know. It's been so long. This is such a nice, deep dark matte. Like this is nice. Please excuse the fact that I have no nails. I don't know what to tell you. I'm going through a possible breakup right now. We don't really know all the deets yet. It's like a whole thing. It's like a whole thing. So, I'm not gonna go into detail, but it's been a minute. I'm so sorry for our terrible filming schedule. We're very bad content creators at the moment. So yeah, I'm just packing this on. I should have blended out the creases. Oh well. And kind of just like blending it a little bit. And then on the same brush that I just wiped off like a little bit on my sock, I'm going to take the shade Curious, which is the lighter purpley lavender matte. And I'm going to kind of pack it right here and start to blend it out. It's a little bit more pink on the skin, which I feel is annoying but really typical with these shades. I always want them to pull really cool tone purple, but on my skin they always pull like pink. What reason? Come here. So I'm just going to use that to diffuse this a little bit, or to create like a, I don't know, a gradient, a border of sorts. And then I'm going to go back in with Implode again. And spread this out. My skills are not quite what they need to be at this moment. Okay, and then I'm gonna go in on a bigger, fluffier brush with that same like lavendery shade. This is an AOA Studio E136. And I'm gonna buff kind of everywhere. I feel like with smaller brushes, you can always get like a nice, you know, precise blend, but you need a bigger brush to really get it there. I don't know, I can never do it only with like really small brushes. It doesn't work for me. I'm not built like that. I'm gonna take a little bit of the shade Fusion, which is the like bright pink in the palette. This does look a little bit more muted like on camera, but it's really, really bright in person. So just a heads up, it just gets washed out a little bit. And I'm going to put this like right into my brows. And I am gonna go back over it with the lavender as well. But since it was pulling pink, I was like, fine. Fine, you want pink? I'll do pink. Then I'm gonna go in with a xoxo blending crease brush and the shade Life, which is the bright yellow. This is a really bright yellow. I like this color a lot. Not something I'll use often because I don't use yellow very often, but we're spicing it up today. I don't know if I'm gonna do my hair, if I'm just gonna like kind of like hairspray it in this like fuckboy kind of place, you know, I don't know. But I'm gonna place this right here. Vic does this a lot. This yellow would go really well with like blues and greens because it is more of like a neon-y yellow. It's less of a, I guess it's kind of a sunshine yellow. Oh, I forgot I have some shimmer on this brush, so ignore that if you see it. Because I'll be going back in with a shimmer anyway, so it doesn't really matter. So I'm just gonna build that. And barely flick it into the pink. Cool, cool. Then I'm gonna take a pencil brush. This one is just a Morphe brush without a name. And I'm gonna take the shade Entity, which is the like shimmery lilac purple shade. And I'm gonna put this on my brow bone pretty harshly because I want a lot of shimmer in this look. These shimmers are gorgeous. Okay, hear me out. Gorgeous, gorgeous. These are stunning, stunning, flaky, beautiful, incredible shimmers. I would like Midas to do an all shimmer palette in this formula. So Midas, please, that'd be awesome. Thank you so much for your time. And then I'm gonna go in with my finger and I'm gonna first take the shade Quantum, which is the middle shimmery pink shade. And then I am gonna add a little bit of the lilac-y shimmer again on the lid because I wasn't sure what I was doing. This is such a pretty, like, it's kind of like the shimmer in the Kaleidos Shasimi City palette. It's very flaky, very buttery, very duochromy. It's like a pink to like yellowy green lime kind of flip. I don't know, it's really fun. I'm gonna put this on my lid with my finger because that's the easiest way, and because I don't have nails right now, I actually can do that, which is really exciting for me. I'm just gonna kind of tap it up a little bit to make sure there's not like, it's not like a cut crease, it's not a stark line, it's none of that. It's a blown out shimmer look. Then I'm gonna take Entity and tap it right on top. I just thought it would give it a little bit more life and make it a little bit more like silvery. Then I'm gonna take a little bit of Deep Space, which is it's more of a satin kind of shimmer in the palette. And I'm going to throw that right in between my outer corner and my lid shade. This is my favorite trick, is using like a deeper shimmer in the palette to blend everything together. I'm gonna go back in with the Deepest Matte Implode, or not Deepest Matte because there's a black, but the deeper matte that I used, and blend again. Then on the brush I used for the yellow, the xoxo brush, I had to go in with the shade Psych. Right there. Is that Psych? No, I can't see. No, Psych, right here. It's gorgeous. You don't understand. This is my favorite type of shade. And since I have pink hair right now and I'm wearing a purple sweatshirt, I thought that maybe I shouldn't use blues and greens necessarily. I did add some because I had to. But I'm just gonna take this shade and tap it on the yellow very gently. I don't want it to be like straight shimmer, but it adds a lot of fun and like sparkle, and it's just like a party. It's like a party on my eyeballs. Okay, once I did that, I took Dark Matter, which is the black on the palette, on like a little angled brush, and I just sketched out a line. I wanted to do something really smoky today, So we're smoking it out. So I'm going to sketch out a line, and I'm going to go all the way into my inner corner because I did it on my lower lash line as well. I'm going to take some more pink pot, and I'm going to throw it on my lower lash line to do a base. I wasn't sure what I wanted to do, and I wanted to do it before my base, so that's what I'm doing. So I'm just going to take it and smudge it all up in there. And first I'm going to go in with the shade Open Mind, which is the lime green shade in the palette, and I'm going to take that on this Real Techniques shading brush. And I'm just gonna pack it like in my inner corner. I've gotta say, this isn't my favorite shade, at least on the lower lash line. It's nice for sure. I just feel in the pan, it shows up a little bit more vibrant than it translates on the eyes. Or maybe I'm just expecting neon and it's not quite neon, I'm not sure. But I'm gonna add that right in the inner corner, or right in the beginning portion of my lower lash line. And then I'm going to take an AOA Studio E137 brush, and I'm going to take the shade Inspire, which is the like cobalt blue. I was really curious to use this shade because I have absolutely never used one that actually works well. Morphe James Charles had one, was terrible, gotta be the worst blue I've ever tried in my life. Be Perfect has one kind of similar, it's just a little bit deeper. Not that good, it's not that good. This one's okay. I'm going to have to use it in a full look to tell you guys for sure if it's okay, but I think it's okay. It seems like it works pretty well. I definitely think if you pack it on too heavy, it's going to get patchy, just because I think it's just one of those shades where it does that, and it's unfortunate, but it's our reality. So it just may be one of those shades that you just struggle with a little bit. So I'm gonna add this onto the outer corner, pat, 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 and kind of try and flick it into our upper shadow. I'm gonna go back in with the brush from my upper eye and try and blend those two together a little bit. And then for my inner corner, I'm gonna go in with this e.l.f. contour brush. It's just like a domed kind of pencil brush. I'm gonna go in with Reality, which is the white in the palette. This is a decent white. It's not the best and it's not the worst. I'd say it's comparable to the one in like the Lunar Beauty Life's a Drag. It's a good white. It's a good white, but I'm waiting to find a white that beats the one from the Norvina Volume 1 palette. Was it the Volume 1? Yeah. I hated that palette, but that white I depotted. I had to have it. So I'm putting this on. And then I'm gonna go in with the shade Motive, which is the shimmery light green shade in the palette. And I'm gonna add that onto my inner corner and kind of blend it up a little bit, and also blend it onto the green just a touch down here. I'm gonna take the black and the angled brush again, and I'm going to stamp it. It's like kind of like tight lining, but on the outside. I don't know. Is that the term? I'm just gonna stamp it down here. Make her nice and smoky oaky. I'm gonna go in with a black eyeliner. This is the LA Girl Glide On Gel Liner, and run it through my waterline. Okay, here's the completed look. In the viewfinder, it looks kind of dull. I don't know if the lights are too bright right now, but this is so fun and so smoky and so cool. If I were in a more feel-good mood, I think I would like this look a lot more. I do really like it. Like it looks good. I like the look I created. It doesn't look bad by any means. I'm just kind of in a funk with my current life situation, but I am thoroughly loving the shimmers in this palette, so let's move on to the next look. Look here, based on this eye, this shadow formula is so much better than what I've tried from Midas before. Anyway, I'm gonna go in first with the shade Implode, and I did this because I figured these mattes wouldn't be buildable. I don't know if they are still, because I haven't done it that way, but they have more pigmentation off the bat than I assumed. But Implode, which is like the deepest burgundy plum kind of color in here, which is like
my kind of color. And I'm gonna take that on a Rephr number 14 brush, and I'm gonna sort of stamp that on the outer corner. See, like these are intense. Okay, I'm gonna leave it like that for the time being, though I definitely would build it. Then I'm gonna go in with a Rephr 01 brush. Let me wipe it off a little bit. Okay, I'm first gonna go into the shade Curious right here. And just place that above everywhere basically. And blend it out because I did want to, like on this side I extended it quite a bit and I want that to match on this side as well. I must not have done my eyebrows evenly because I cut off the tail of this one and I had issues blending over top of my eyebrow over here, so that's my own fault. Although I'm gonna red it up here in just a moment. And then on that same brush, I'm going into Infinite, which is that deep red right here. And I'm going to sort of merge that between the purple and the deepest color we used. And then I'm gonna go back into Implode, which is that deepest color, and make sure to intensify that and blow it out a little more now that we have some like powder laid down to help us out if we blend too far up. I'm gonna use this Unicorn Cosmetics blending brush and go into Evolve, which is just this like neon kind of coral shade. Like, how fun. I would love to use that on like the inner corner sometime, even though I don't really like corals on me. But anyway, I'm gonna put this in the brow region and alongside out here to extend that. But this is like a star of the show kind of color. Like, this is bright, this is fun. I think I'll probably keep it up until out here. I might blend it out a little further, but I don't want to go like too crazy. And back in with that Rephr 01 brush in the shade Infinite, which is the more red color, I'm going to sort of buff out the edges over here. And then back in with the coral, just to make sure that that is as intense as possible while still blended. Great. I just want to say these mats are blowing my socks off compared to the Midas mats I've tried. Oh, they're so good. And for the sake of repeating it the same on the other eye, I'm going to make the same mistake, I guess, that I did. So I'm going to go into the shade Psyche. Psyche? Does that even spell Psyche? Or is it just Psych? I don't know. Psych with an E at the end. And I'm going to put that all over my lid. And I thought I wanted this color, but then I realized I wanted like something else as well. So I'm gonna lay this down pretty much everywhere, and then I'm gonna go in with another color. Lovely. And then I'm gonna go into the shade right next to that, which is Quantum, right there. And I'm gonna basically cover that entire part up. And I love this sort of shade. It's like a pink with a gold flip to it. It's like my ultimate shade. And then I'm gonna go into Deep Space, which is just like a standard metallic at the bottom. And while this isn't like the most impressive shade in my opinion, it definitely works for sort of merging the outer corner into the, or the mattes into the shimmer a little bit. Then I'll go back into Implode, again the deepest shade, and just make sure everything is still intense on the outer corner. I want it to be pretty rich. I could go in with the matte black, but today I'm opting to not do that because I'm a changed individual, I suppose. Okay, and then for my inner corner, I'm going to take the shade Psyche again and just intensify that on a little BH Cosmetics, what are you called? Number 8 brush. This is like one of my favorite brushes all time. I'm gonna make sure that's fluffed like all up in here. It's probably a little far. I mean, do I want to? I think I scoopity boopity this, so I did that. Yeah.
I did that. And I think, is this where I want to leave it for now? There's so many options in here. I'm gonna keep it this way for now. I will come back if I decide to do anything different on the lower lash line, but I don't always do that, so we'll see. I'll be back in a few minutes. I think I have an idea for the lower lash line that I'd like to commit to. I'm thinking I'm gonna pop a green up here as well with the shade Open Mind, which is the bright green, and I'm gonna do that on rougher 16 brush. I think right here. I think it'll work with like the inner corner thing. I don't know. Pop a green like right in this inner corner is one of my favorite ways to wear a lime green. It just kind of, I don't know, it really does something for me. I feel like that's alright. I don't mind that. I don't mind that one bit. And I am going to start with Implode on my lower lash line, which is that deep color we started out with, just because I like the outer corners to match most of the time. It's like the way I can be happy, you know? I will go back into Curious and Infinite, just like I did, to blend out these shades just for the outer portion of the outer corner. And then I am going to go back into the coral called Evolve. I'm going to use a different brush though. This is the Morphe JH30. It's like one of those giant fluffy brushes. I just think this is going to be the best for diffusing the shade along the edges the way I need it to be diffused. With the green, I'm just going to do Open Mind again, right down here. And then I am going to cover that with Psyche, the shimmer. Just on my pinky, because I don't know. I always try to use a brush like a cool kid and I can't. And then for a little, why not? I'm going to use a little bit of Motive, which is the other green shimmer up here. I'm going to put that, I think, on my inner corner exclusively. Yeah, I like that. I think that's cool. Okay, I'm gonna go finish everything on my face, do some mascara, some liner. I don't know if I should do like a lime green liner or if I should go like plum. We'll see what I decide here. This mirror is so scary. I'll be right back. My hair looks awful. Anyway, this is the completed look. I am very, very, very happy with it. I wish that there were more shimmers in here to play with, because the shimmers in here so far are just divine. I'm pretty sure I used most of them, except one, I think. But yeah, that is all for this look. So let's get on to final thoughts, and maybe I'll fix this hair. Thoughts? Wow. Pull up Smoky Glow palette with me. Yeah. So initially, I knew this was going to be a little biased because we are friends with Thebasicb, and we have been for quite some time now. But I knew based on the Smoky Glow palette, well, I thought I knew, I wouldn't enjoy the mattes as much, because while these mattes perform okay in this palette, they're not my favorite. They don't build very well, and they're not super more pigmented off the bat. They're like beginner mattes almost. Yeah, so like you can't really build them, which makes them well, you can build them, but they're a little bit trickier to build, which makes them a little bit harder to use for our style of makeup. For the average consumer, no, not at all. But for us and what kind of like looks we do, impact that we're looking for from our mattes, that palette does lack in that department. So I thought I was going to be a little biased and hype up these mattes a little more than they deserved, honestly. Like I was like, I'm gonna straight lie to the viewers, aren't I? For the sake of my girl. No. Oh my god. This reminds me so much of the original Be Perfect Carnival palette formula. And we have the other Carnival palettes, but the original Carnival palette has the best formula out of all of them. Oh yeah, I just want to say, has the best formula. This is so reminiscent of that. I don't know what Midas did to change their mattes, but they are absolute perfection. Even the shimmers in here, Smoky Glow has some really nice shimmers in her palette, but I don't think any of them compare to the impact of like Psych and Quantum and even Entity. I think Motive is a little bit less, you know, fun. And then Deep Space is more of a satin. But
wow.
Midas, if you ever need somebody to collab with for an all shimmer palette, or like quads of sorts, just know there are two twins willing, as long as you have the same formula available to you, to do that, because holy fuck, dude.
I do want to try, I am interested to try the matte white in here because the one in here was not that. Okay. Oh, you did?
Yeah,
okay.
It's good. I believe what I said in my video is it's up to par with the Lunar Beauty white, which is a good white. It's not the best white.
The best one is from ABH.
However,
from their Nordina palette.
Yeah. So the only thing that I would say about this white is don't use it to set your eyelids. Because I can imagine, you know, whites are normally, pastels in general are normally really, really powdery. Nothing's gonna stick if you use the white to set your lid. So it's my 2 cents.
So yeah, I can't attest for the buildability of these since I worked darkest to lightest basically. But
I layered Implode like 90 times and had no issues.
Yeah, so I'm really, really, really highly impressed. And Implode is one of the best like shades I've ever used in my life. This is my type of shade, just this deep plummy type color. And these shimmers, I've never tried Adept Cosmetics. They are on my radar, but these shimmers give me Adept vibes, you know, just from what I've seen. Like I feel it. Like I'm there for it. I'm here for it. Like I'm so proud of her. And
the packaging on this
is beautiful. The packaging is beautiful. But kudos to Midas for collabing with a smaller influencer like that. I mean, they did her glitters as well, but obviously those were a smaller item. But
with Neon MUA.
It's really refreshing to see a smaller company, but not like a teeny tiny company, collab with artists that have 10K followers.
Yeah, like just a smaller following, like more. I mean, still I think falling under that micro influencer umbrella.
Yeah.
Which I think. I'm sorry, I'm getting sick.
Charlotte's fault.
Which I think is really awesome and really admirable.
You got a whooping cough?
Probably. Dude, it feels like my throat is shriveling up. Like it feels like it can't get water in it, you know? So it's like I need lotion. I want to drink lotion.
You want to drink Aquaphor?
I'm struggling.
Oh, I know what you mean. Well, I think we summed up our thoughts pretty well. It's really, really nice from the shades that we used, obviously.
So pretty. We will update you in the description box if anything changes. So I'll probably use it tomorrow too when I get ready in conjunction with my Pan That palette and panning stuff. And hopefully, I can see how I feel. I will say I'm a little bit worried about Inspire, which is the bright blue right here. I used it on my lower lash line. It was nice, but I have a feeling it's going to be one of those where if you try to build, you will regret it.
Might be patchy. I guess we'll see.
That's something to note. Anyway, let us know. Are the hiccups now?
God is not on your side today.
No. Nope. He's smiting me.
He's out of office.
Anyway, let us know your thoughts about this palette. Let us know if you plan on picking it up. If you did pick it up, we can do more tutorials. Just let us know what you want. They just may come a little bit later than usual. So, thank you guys so much for watching. We hope to see you in the next one. Bye.